And we got something to go ahead and focus on today. We do guys a little bit of cloud cover, so it's kind of nice, but it's still 98. But anyways, check it out. Today, we're going to talk about the purdiest trees in the property. And we're going to walk around and show you guys what I think are the best looking trees here, not based on flavor, nothing like that. Today is just on the looks, on the shape of it, how we're doing. We'll go ahead and show you my favorites, the ones that still need work. But let's turn this bad boy around really quick and let's talk about the Maria mango, right? First and foremost, we'll go ahead and address it. The bottom of it is starting to break down. The rootstock here, have no clue why. There's something climbing it, scratching it all up, which I've noticed. Also, we're getting some oozing parts in here from, I don't know if it's from the said holes, but it's oozing in different spots, which kind of stinks. So I put on this wound healer. That way we don't lose it. So how long is this Maria going to make it? I don't know. I don't know. We're going to go ahead and find out for you. But the one and only fruit is still holding. Starting to get some good color on there. Sorry, Kiwi is barking at the neighbor because he's mowing. So that's what she does. But anyways, the Maria, about the shape, I went ahead and cut it out early. This is only a 4-year-old graft here. So it is, I don't know, all of 9 feet right now. Not the largest tree, but this is our largest Maria, and it's the first time that she's holding some fruit for us. So hopefully there's not too much background noise, but anyways, love the shape. I would go ahead and do the same exact thing as I did like this one for all the rest of them. Highly recommend it. Now, the centers will, I do cut them out, but I allow the top to go ahead and, yeah, these are fake ones, right? But I allow them to grow back out and fill out the middle. That way we can go ahead and keep them nice and warm here in the wintertime. But let's go walk around and let's show you some good shaped trees here. Got moringa that's going nuts on the flowers and going to seed as well. So lots more will be made here. We're getting some requests for some moringa trees here. So winds are kicking up. There is a hurricane here on the East Coast that should be directly east of us tomorrow. So because of that, the winds will be a little bit high. Look at these leaf-footed bugs on these peppers on the sugar rush. Get out of here. Send them packing. Gotta go. They'll fly away and come right back. But anyways, let's talk about some good shaped trees and some bad shaped trees. Some of them need some work. We'll get Kiwi away from the neighbors that way. Major rule here, folks. I know she's worn out. She's a little, yeah, but I do have to remake that, right? That's the major rule. Don't handle the fruit. We don't like fruit fondlers. All right, so shape, and shape. This one of my favorites, okay? One of my favorite trees that was sculpted here, all right? Let's see if anyone can guess before we go ahead and tell you what she is. Beautiful cut right there, was made early, shot out 6 new branches. She's a small tree in a 25-gallon, flushing out again. Beautiful little setup. I love this tree. This is one of my favorites that I shaped, that I'm a big fan of. Who is she? None other than Carrie Mango. #1 sold here in the state. Don't know if it's still true, but that's what I've heard. Just had one for breakfast today. But anyways, real quick on the update on the ants, on that new solution, it is crazy good. How good is it? Very good, folks. That's not dirt. Those are all ants in there. Tons and tons of ants. That new solution, because it is, I think it's more viscous, it allows them to be able to go and transport it, so they love it. It's better than the older solution that I was making a little bit more tacky. Anyways, we're talking about the shape here. All right, stay on track here. All right, since we're in here, we have CAC, okay, CAC. Good a good shape on there. I'm not going to take anything off this year. I went ahead and allowed it to fruit, gave us a few, but now it's got a good stance. I'd probably give it a good 8, you know, and it is a vigorous grower, so I don't see it having any issues down the road. I'll just keep trimming her, but I'd give it a good 8.5. Not thrilled with it. It is growing straight up. It's not really want to come out, but so far so good. But yeah, that's what we do, is trim out the middles. And that's what I'm doing here. I'm trimming out the middle so we don't have the structure. We don't have the branch in there, but I will allow the foliage to grow up and through the middle here. This one, I kept this middle here, and we'll talk about it. This one's Valkyrie, and hang on, let me back up. It's in a 25-gallon. Not the greatest of shapes. Wants to grow up. Kind of a upright grower. What I will do is, this year, I'm going to more than likely just leave it. I don't think it's going to need that big of a haircut. Only threw off two mangoes this year, but I'm figuring that I could go ahead if I wanted to. If I was forced to trim, I'm just going to take off the top new growth. Nothing crazy, because I do want some more next year. But ideally, yeah, I would have opened this up here. I would have taken this one out, because then it goes into this part here. It's not the worst. It's, yeah, I can work with it, but I'm just not super thrilled. Something about it really likes, you know, the way you don't have that upright growth in there. I do like that top leader being yanked out, and it's my preference. Here's one that I'm not too happy with, folks. All right, this one, I know, as much as the fruit is, you know, it's upper echelon in my books, the shape on this tree, I know, I screwed up. I blame the sculptor. I never pruned it, okay, to where I did the rest of them. I got this one a while ago and just kind of went with it, right? It produced last year, so I didn't trim it much. What are we talking about? This one, let me tell you who it is. Let me show you who we're talking about here. All right, Miss M4, Coco Loco. It's got a terrible stance. I hate this tree, the way that she stands. Of course, it fruits, it doesn't really matter, I know. But theoretically, I would have loved to come down here and trim it low to get way more branching than just 2, you know? And then it comes up, it lengths up here and shoots off to the right. So resetting it would either be a hard cut here or way down here, right? Which I don't want to do that, so I'm not going to more than likely do that. Down the road, I could see myself setting it back here. It's going to hurt. That's my one and only. But also, if I wanted to come up a little bit higher, I would just take it like right there to get at least 2 feet off the top there. But I have to shape her once this fruit is off, just because she's too tall, man. Too tall and looks pathetic, right? It's leaning way over. It's got a weird look. And when it comes down to hurricanes, folks, it will topple this tree. It'll bend it, break it, the whole deal. What do we do with them? More than likely, before big winds, if there's no fruit on it, just lay the tree down. It's going to fall over once anyways in any of these storms. But ideally, I will come out and lay them down softly, so that way we don't break any branches. All right, which other ones? Let's move it along here. We got some cloud cover, which is quite nice. Sun was just out blazing on us, so we'll go ahead and talk in the shade. All right, here's another one. Saint-Péry. Excellent little shape on here. This one I haven't had much time with, so I don't want to claim that I shaped it, you know, and did all this and that on it, because that one, I don't want to take all of the credit for that one. But it is, oh, sorry about that. Trying not to block the roux there. It does shoot off into 3 main branches there, which is lovely. So it's got great structure, and then from there we trim again, right? So I don't think I made that one, to be honest with you. But all the rest of them I went ahead and trimmed up. So we let them shoot up about 2 more links or nodes, and then we trim from there, depending on the tree. Some I will let shoot once, some twice, depending on the length, right? But every one of them is different, totally up to you. and how you're going to grow them, whether you want them to be vigorous or you want them to be dwarfs in a pot. So excellent on this one. I'd probably give that one an 8.5. I do like it. This one will be relocated here shortly, and we'll have that one installed in her new rehomed location. Malika or Malika, many different pronunciations. Malika, Malika, depends on where you're from. How's she shaped? Hey, look at this one, man. It's in here going after the lizards, and in return, she tears up the roots in there. Thank you for aerating everything. How is she shaped? I didn't cut out the middle, so you can see it still comes up all the way up here. It's growing up pretty tall here. I'd say all of, I don't know, 7.5 feet. Just came out flushing again, didn't give us much. This one, I'm not going to do much on this year, just because I like the shape of it right now. And I feel like if I give it too much of a haircut, she probably won't produce much for us next year. So I'm going to leave this one, but ideally, not the worst setup, because even up here with this main leader in, comes up, branches off again, and then branches once again. So really just some small adjustments on the top there, but good structure. This one tends to go down quite some, a little bit here. Get her, man. Working. Goes down with the wind, basically. And this is one of my grafts here. It's still holding up pretty good. So that's the one I kept. I sold the other Malika, but so far, so good. I didn't shape that one too much, so I can't say that I did too much with that. Fruit punch, and I don't know if I'll discuss them all, but let's see what we can do. Technically, I'm closed today, so got a little bit of time here. Thanks for tuning in. If you guys are, if not, catch up later, right? Fruit punch with 3 down from below, which is excellent. I like the lower branching, lower on the tree, especially if you're going to keep it a little bit smaller. Good branching on that, lovely. Not going to really touch it this year because it's small still. Avocados, I don't really mess with too much, just because they look fine, right? And you don't cut out the middles like you do on these avocados, unless they're going to be huge. What I'll tend to do is if I see the top growing out way too fast, then I will just take, pinch it basically. That way it'll send off more shoots horizontally, but don't have to do too much to them unless they're growing all wonky like. Peach cobbler has a great little trifecta branching right there, and then shoots up, splits into 2, and it's a smaller tree. It's not super vigorous right now. Haven't tasted this, and nor will I this year. That one's for the neighbor, but new flush on it, looking good. I won't even prune it once it's done. I think it's got a great shape on her. Not the biggest tree. I think she'll stay in this pot probably for another year. I think she'll be fine. Good. I'd give that one probably a good 9 based on the shape there. Uh-oh, here comes the sun here. 2 lemon zest. I like one more than the other. Let's explain. And this is the one that produced. So technically, you would think I would like this one more. But based on shape only, folks. We're talking about the shape here. Why do I like this one better? This one breaks off into 3. Of course, I'm all over this spider web. I don't know if you can see that in the camera, but yeah, there's spider webs out here. That one breaks off into 3, and the one that produced, only 2 shoots, 2 branches, and then it comes up. Not saying this one's going to be weaker of a tree, but I do like the stance on this one. More branches means more fruit. So ideally, you want to cut them back early. This is your most important cut, in my opinion, right? I haven't been growing them for 75 years, but in my small amount of time that I've been growing and studying, not just these fruit trees, but a lot of them, you want to first make that first cut to shape them, because once you cut them once and they shoot up to only 2, anything else, once you keep going forward, you can't go back and reset it, right? So, I mean, you can, but who's going to want to? You've already wasted that time. But if you set them right, you do it once, boom, you get 3-4 branches on the bottom, and you're off into the races. Now, will it still produce the same? Can it still be just as delicious or even more delicious of fruit? Yeah, but we're talking structure. We're talking the longevity of the tree. As far as wind goes, you know, balance, right? You want a nice balanced tree to where all the limbs are all, you know, my honest opinion, you got a tree with 2 branches on it. Now, putting this into the ground, I'm going to want to say the wind, my property is set up like a long Tetris piece, right? Long and slender. So ideally, if I have this tree right here with 2 branches, I'm going to spin them instead of having them, you know, growing out this way, right? I'm going to spin them this way. That way they can grow with the wind, right? So less wind or branches breaking in higher winds. We get high winds here, folks. All right. So with that in mind, yes, this is something that you would have to think about whenever you're planting these trees. How many branches are on there? What do they look like? And are you trying to plant them to be more aerodynamic for these higher winds? Juicy peach. Love, love, love this little setup. This little tree, excellent little shape on her. Hang on, am I zoomed in? I'm zoomed out all the way. So excellent little setup on her. Not super vigorous. I like the wide body on her. Good little trimming that I did. I think I did this bottom one. I've had her since a 3-gallon. Did that one, and I could have sworn I did this one and that other one. Anyways, I do most of my own stunts here. I do all the tipping and all that fun stuff. But excellent tree. I give that one like a 9. I really like the way she's set up there. And if you don't like the way they're set up, then you blame the sculptor. Right, here is Sweet Tart. Now, I'll tell you this. She's got to be up potted because she's too tall for this 7-gallon. She fell over probably half a dozen times this year. So I had to tie her up up against the gondole right over here. That way she wouldn't fall. But good structure. She's going to produce regardless of what. You can't, even if she's ugly or whatnot, she's going to produce. She's a heavy producer. So that goes without saying. Good branch structure right down in here. Hang on here. Get you guys inside there. So good structure, breaks off into multiple branches, and then from there, sends off even more. Am I going to trim her this year? Not a whole lot. No, I'm going to up pot her into a 15-gallon. That way she doesn't get blown over by the wind. But excellent, excellent little tree over here. Not going to do much. Let her just branch off. Next year, she'll give us that much more. Super Julie, even though she's a small little 7, it's got a great little stance on her as well. 3 shooting from the bottom down there. And then she comes up and branches off again. But I am making sure that I'm tipping most branches. I'm watching them because I don't want any long, lanky branches getting out of control. I kind of want symmetrical branching. And we're going for mango bushes out here. We want them wide as possible, right? Now, if they're around other trees and they're, you know, super tight, then of course we got to go ahead and cut them to where they shape in there and they fit a little bit better. But if possible, we want them as wide as possible. Here's an orange sherbet. And this one, again, I cut it and settled for 2, folks. I settled for 2 on that one. This one's my graft here. Let me see if I can spin you around this way. This one's one of mine here, and I should have went back and recut it again, but I left it at 2. All right, I was like, well, it's all right. I was so stoked that it took that I just let it ride with it. But shoots off into 2, and then from here, there's 1 node, and then there's a second one. So I cut it there, and then it launched into 4 different branches there. And I know it's tough to see on this, but it launches back up into a few more. Not the biggest tree, didn't produce this year. Small, thin branches on the top, but I know next year she's going to really fill out and will hopefully give us some. But excellent little shape on this tree as well. And from what I'm hearing, some say compact, moderate grower, some say it's pretty vigorous. So I don't know. Rollinias, I don't shape much. I don't do too much with them. I just cut off the dead branches, you know, any of them that they go ahead and they abort themselves, and I just kind of shape up, right? It's not the same with those. Let me see. I got one. Oh, here's one that we'll discuss. We'll discuss this Maria as well. Here's one that I'm not too thrilled about, but this is about practicality versus what she really looks like, because I'm not happy with the one node on here. So I cut the Maria. This I love. I cut the bottom down here and it shot up into 3, right? Here's where I don't like it, is that I only cut one node from here. That's only one node. She's got long nodes. I only cut it once, and yeah, it shot out into 5 or 6, but they're short and it looks wonky. It looks weird, but I know that it's for production purposes. Next year, she'll look that much better. She looks good from the outside, but once you know, you're like, man, I wish I would have waited one more. But I need all the budwood possible. So this is a low and slow type of process, folks. So this is our second in command. So if that other one implodes, then this is our second Maria that should be producing probably 2 more years. So all good. We're making way more. We want y'all to taste this mango, folks. It's not your typical Valencia Pride. She is way finer than that. If you like coconut and you like Valencia, and I don't mean like a little bit of like Valencia coconut, because you do get a little bit of coconut tones, but it doesn't really transfer. Think M4 mixed with Valencia Pride, like straight. Primary flavor is coconut, right? Not even, oh, it has a little splash. No, 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 no. Major coconut flavor with the Valencia on the back. Anyways, this is Venus that I just moved the other day. Thanks a lot for tuning in. And what's up? Thanks for tuning in. One that I moved the other day, Venus Mango, very nice, vigorous tree that I had to move her out here, folks. She was way too big for the greenhouse over here. She did not like being in captivity. She was telling me, she was coughing and wheezing. She said, I'm only going to give you small amount of mangoes if I'm kept in there. She didn't like the glen next to her. She told me they were fighting all this. Oh, listen, that's all. I'll tell you guys about that later on, but that's all the minor stuff. But anyways, she wanted to be out here all alone. She said she could take it. She's going to give me much more production out here. So I listened to her, went with my gut. I said, all right, this year, because we're already hitting 100 degrees, it's going to be, I'm trying to get this piece of moss off of here. It's going to be 100. We're already breaking these records now. We are going to go ahead and stay warm, I'm guessing, for the winter. So hopefully we won't have to do too much for her. But put her into this bed here. Gave her some good mulch in there. We'll feed her a little bit, but great structure. Great structure right there. Cut into that, and then I'm shaping through all out. And because she's a very vigorous, well, I don't want to say very, but a vigorous grower, I'm leaving some of these nodes to be a little bit longer before really doing too much. But anyways, like the shape on that one, and tune in to see how she works out here down the road. Florigon, I didn't mess with too much. I just shaped the top for the most part. I left these longer nodes, which I probably, could have adjusted, but it's not the worst. It's staying in the pot. It's not the biggest flavored mango. It is like an intro to Indo-Chinese. Oh, you're not discussing we're discussing the trees. All right. But still, not the worst. Still, you go up. Not very tall do I go into. That's for the ants. Does it start splitting there? So very nice. I like to prune them young. That way we can shape those first couple of branches. Instead of like this phoenix. See how tall that one is? Comes up into there. And it depends if you're going to keep them in pots or in the ground, right? But, and I know what you're saying, it's fine because once they actually hang, they're going to be in reach, but I like them to be lower, right? A little bit lower for the look, I guess. But also, even if they're low, I can put bamboo stakes in here and kind of raise them. This one's Phoenix. Great little tree. Well, not little, right? 15 gallon. Breaks into 3 branches. You see that? Good structure on there. That's what we're looking for. I like the 3. It's kind of well-rounded. It's got a little watcher, making sure that no pests jump on there. That little bird will attack. I still get that. Are those real? I'm like, oh yeah, just keep watching. No, it's not real, folks. But Phoenix, what are we going to do? Is she going to be a good hitter? I'm hearing all kinds of mixed reviews, but the structure looks good. That one's not too bad, folks. I'm going to show you one that I really, really like. Hang on here, folks. One of my favorites. One of my favorites. Not yet. I just want to give you the update on this one. Cotton Candy, one of the newest recruits. Wanted to go ahead and show you. I know some of y'all were squeamish whenever I was reshaping her, but I just wanted to show you what she's looking like since I went ahead and cut her. Already screaming, what, 5 new shoots out of there? Sent out 5 new shoots, and they're looking great. Cotton Candy is a great little mango. Very, very sweet. I want to say my sweetest that I've ever had, but I wasn't testing them just yet. So we're going to find out how sweet she really is. Here's the Kent, right? My new favorite mango. Jokes. But once they start producing, I'm going to tell you how great she really is. Nope, but this one I had to go ahead and trim up as well. It's because it came in here with not the greatest of shapes. So what do? We whip them back into shape. So that's what you can't be afraid to do too, folks. If you get a tree and it's a big one or whatever, or it came with the property, right? I moved in and the tree was already here. What can I do now? Well, you're going to have to make some hard cuts if you have to reset it, to shape it, and to make it look a whole lot better. Can't be afraid of a small setback. This was from the tag. That's why you see it all ate up there. So be careful with the tags and how long you leave them on the tree. All this plastic will be gone out of here as well. I'm noticing that it's disintegrating in the sun. Here's one of my favorites, folks. Now we're talking the shape here. Yes, we're being watched. We're talking about the shape, right? We're talking strictly the shape of this mango. One of my favorites. She is bad, bro. I'm telling you. Look at this. Cut right in. And this one, I will take all responsibility for this one. I cut that. It shot off into three good size branches, mind you, right? We'll get you down in here. So they're good size branches. Here's one node right there, right? And what would you call that? Yeah, right there, from there to there. And then there's 2, and then I cut again, and it shot up into 2. Boom, and then it goes up. Same thing. All of these shot up into 2 once I went ahead and cut them on the second. But this whole tree, she's looking stout. She's looking ready to take on whatever winds get thrown at her. Who are we talking about? The ones that know, you probably have already seen her before. You heard me talking about her. Now, the flavor is one thing, but the tree, I love the tree. The flavor you can have. I'm growing this one for my mama. She loves this one, right? She loves this mango. She likes a lot of mangoes that I don't. And not all these mangoes are for me. I get it, right? That's okay. Oh, a little branch in there. But this one is going to be an excellent tree. Great place for it's all about the shape and starting them off young, folks. If you wait until you get that 7 or 12 or 15 gallon from your nursery and it comes up and it's this tall string bean and they go, come back here and set it down and reset it for you. You're like, no, man, that's what you're supposed to do. So be careful, find that nice shaped tree, or you're going to be paying for time, right? You're paying for that big trunk. So if you are getting a 15 or 25 gallon, well, you may need to do something drastic and cut it down whenever you get it, because if you don't shape it then, good luck shaping it once it's already done and over. What's up? Licking her chops like she just ate something. You'll be paying for it later on down the road. So shape them whenever they're young. Eat the time now. You'll think, oh man, I'm gonna kill it. You ain't gonna kill it. It will flush back out. And if you do kill it, don't blame me. All right, don't email me with dead trees and it was your fault. I wasn't going to. Listen, I'm just saying it should bounce back depending on where you got it from and what the tree is going through. What else we got? Let's see. Here's another one that's shaped quite nice. Now, why? Because she's a vigorous grower. Who is she? We'll discuss. So see, from a long, I would say long, but that's probably 2 feet, 2 feet with no branching on there. Normally, I wouldn't like that. It's way too long, because guess what? Then as the wind blows, it starts to really rock, right? So technically, I would have liked that a little bit lower, but because she's a big tree, big fruit, I don't mind it. Who is she? We got to know. I know. Bailey's Marvel. Big tree, big fruit. So I don't mind it being that high off the ground because she's going to have some bowling balls hanging down here this next year. Just put her into a 15, so hopefully won't fall down anymore. But normally I want them a lot lower. If it's like a Sassy Love or say Pina Colada, it's going to be squatted, you know. Pickering, all those are going to be cut way low. And then here's mine. I hate these leaf-footed bugs. Those are the adult versions, and they will tear up all the new growth. When you see your mangoes all beat up, all the new growth leaves are getting shredded, I don't want to always blame them, but I'll tell you this, when I see all the new growth, you usually find the leaf-footed bugs sitting there eating up your new foliage. So what do? You spray them? No, I just shoo them away. I don't want to spray anything out here, folks. I don't. I think I'm losing if I start spraying. Also, here's a reminder to make sure that your tags aren't super tight and cutting off the circulation. I'm going to have to do this later on. Be careful with the tags. If you leave them down below, they will girdle your tree. Don't be that guy or gal. Be nice. Oh, other cotton candy tree. I showed you the tag, but not the tag. So another one. 7 gallons. I went ahead and cut out the middle, and then you start seeing some gnarly growth in there. So not every branch is a winner. Just shot out this little weird one here in the middle, but we'll leave it there. We could take it out if you don't really like it, but it's all right. I can always use that to graft something down the road. But shot off 3 decent branches, and then it goes up from there. Small 7 gallon. Look at her. This is what she does for fun, folks. Shreds coconuts. That's how I knew she was a keeper. I said, oh, you're Coco Loco too? Perfect. Look at her. She literally sits here and shreds these coconuts until there's like just the nut inside. Yes. That's my dog. Now, another 7 gallon. More of an upright grower. I probably will leave this alone, although I'm not digging how she's growing. I was kind of hoping for more of a wide body, but not happening. Who is she? We got to know. I know. Hang on. Call the manager. It's Karen Michelle. Listen, I like the new growth, nice and light green, but man, she wants to grow straight up, folks. I thought she was going to be a little bit wider. I'm going to have to prune her that way and keep her small, but going back into this, look, that's one node right here, from here to here, so they're long. All right, so I have no choice but to try to go ahead and prune them and keep her small if I want to go ahead and keep her dwarf, because if not, I think she's going to be a big tree. We'll find out. But the body on this one is not the greatest. It's not. I'm not talking about all Karen. Don't make me do that. Listen, we're talking about this tree, this Karen Michelle. All right, don't. He doesn't like Karen. I see what. No. I know you guys are gonna wrap me out with all the whole Karen community. No, listen. This tree, I could have did better. I could have actually. Can't blame myself too much on this. I've tipped it where it needs to be tipped. It's just not filling out the way that I would like, and that's all right. Here's one that I do like. You see that? A little bit wider. Middle's cut. Only 3 branches coming off of there. Who is it? Santalone, or the guava mango from Myanmar. Didn't do much this year, and that's all right. It's a small tree in a 7, but I like that stance. It shoots off 4, right? In the winter time, it's going to be a little sparse in there. Not the greatest. This is good for South Florida. This is a good South Florida tree. Why? Because it's not really clothed, right? In the winter time, you know, South Florida doesn't freeze, but up here it does freeze. What do we want up here? We want it nice and full, right? Because now I'm cutting hairs, and because honestly these will be going into the greenhouse. But if they were to be left out here and take the cold, I wouldn't want all these gaps in here, right? I would want these branches to be tucked up in here and really insulating one another, right? More than likely it would stuff it inside of there, but I wouldn't want all this air going through. Yes, in South Florida because of said fungi and air or wind or whatever, but up here, I don't want to have all that air going through it in the wintertime. Again, it's going in the greenhouse, it doesn't matter. But down the road, yeah, I cut out the middle, but I want some growth. We need some insulation here in the middle. Now, does that make sense? I don't know, but in my mind, it does. All right. Down south is one thing because, you know, y'all can wear the, y'all can get and show all the skin, the wind down there because your trees will be just fine. Up here, whoo, it gets a little nippy, y'all. Here's another great one. See that? Cut out the middle and 4 shot up. Him saying mum. Okay. Now, is it a tree thing? No, you have to train these trees to cut them that way and then train them from there. Now, some will react better to this shape, others not so much. You can see that. We're getting variegated leaves. Oh, what is all of these specks? It's a deficiency. Oh, no. Does look like something. Looks like she may need some sea kelp. Can't say I've seen the specks like that before. Anyways, good structure. That's what we're looking for right there. But then as this grows up, the middle will get full. We're going to fill that in. Here's one that, wow, I love and hate it. I hate the shape on this tree, right? She goes from the coconut back into chase mode on the lizards. Excellent. Here's why we hate this. I like the wideness on her. And of course I shaped this. This was way busier. I have a video where there was branches coming way down here. And here's what I think. I think she can look better, right? Part of it is my fault. Part of it is just the way she wants to grow. Now, if you know what we're talking about and who we're talking about, then you know that there's not much you can do about controlling her. You just try to do your best. Coconut cream is a dream of a tree, but, well, dream of a fruit. The fruit is excellent. The tree, she does what she wants, and you just try to control her to the best of your ability. Now I figured, see what I mean? She's on that other side there. But look at the new growth. They're all beat up. They're all ate up. And then you look underneath here. Watch this. There she is. The leaf-footed bug, right? That's the adult version. Yo, what's up? And look what they do to the new growth. They suck the good juices out of there. You see that? That's what they do. So if your new growth on your mangoes are looking wonky, well, I can't guarantee you nothing, but look around it and more than likely you'll see the leaf-footed bugs, but they kind of drain the juice out of there. Anyways, back to, hate these guys. Get out of here, sir. They fly and then they'll just fly back onto another one and then they fly around again. They suck. Anyways, yes, the juice out of your plants. See? You see them in there? They just eat everything. And they got a hard shell. Let's see if we can do this. And we perform. I tried. I almost got a leg. What's up to my mangoes when they found my acerola cherries? Yes, they will shred up the Barbados. The Barbados cherries, man, will attract them like crazy as well. But yes, they love the new growth on here. And I'm sure they're on this one as well. Yep. Just everywhere. Everywhere, folks. Shredding up the love. Get out of here. What are those good for? What can we do with them? I'm sure someone will say, you gotta take those and put them and make a little shish kebab. And I'm sure they want us to eat all these insects. I'm sure we'll start with those, right? No. And someone's doing it though. Anyways, another good one that is excellent shaped right here. Excellent shaped, flavor, let's not discuss. So, what are we talking about? First and foremost, look at that. 4 branches, beautifully grown. All right, the stance is lovely. She's leaning back a little bit. That's on me. Right, she's got that off and to the right. All right, that's on me. She's growing towards the sun. Don't worry about how I have to tilt the phone and make her straight. Don't worry about that. All right, that's not here nor there, right? And that's just a little tweak that I just got to lift up on this side. Anyways, who is she? Why does she look so pretty? Man, because we shaped her and we show her some love. Did she give us any mangoes in return this year? No, that's not the point. The point is she's growing out nice, and that next year we shall get some. And this is known as one of your insurance mangoes, which did not give us any this year. And that's all right. That means the next year, she better or else. Angie, semi-dwarf, right? Beautifully grown. Most people that eat this mango, they like it or they hate it. Me, I'm indifferent. That West Indian flavor is not my favorite, but you got to respect the good-looking tree that puts on fruit. I'm not going to be the first one to grab a fruit on the table. It's okay. I like Carrie better. I'm not going to start any fights today. Listen, smooth sailing, folks. This one. Another great looking tree. The only another thing is only 2 shoots from the bottom there, or from that first cut, only 2. And I don't think I did that. I think it came this way, and I just started cutting from here on out. But this one, no mangoes this year. It's okay. She's still working. Everything else is looking good. Tipping the top, that way we can shape them for that new growth. Who is she? Hopefully next year we can get some amazing mangoes out of this tree. This year didn't happen. This one is grafted by me, so maybe that's my fault why we didn't get any. And again, I'm going to transition out of all this plastic and onto some jute twine. We're going natural, folks, because that's no good. And this stuff powderizes in the sun. It is terrible, y'all. This is how you know I grafted it. It comes with a little umbilical cord. Just like the babies, you take that, see that? Take it right off. Boom. That's how you know that was a veneer and that was a tip. So you cut it there, just like an umbilical cord comes off. Boom. Take that off. Good graft, hopefully a good rootstock. Let's tune in. And what is she? None other than Popuculi, lemon meringue. I know that tag has went to war and back. I gotta make sure that that's not tightening up. You see that? Make sure that these tags, they only last you so long before they tighten up on you. But excellent tree. Let's find out if she can't give us one this next year, or some, because the mangoes are pretty small. So she should put on a few. This one here, I don't like the shape. I don't like the shape one bit. One, she's growing all to the right into the path. I don't like that. And 2, it's not her fault. I know, it's not her fault. Mother Nature shaped her. Mother Nature zapped her back in the winter and really set her back. Better than turpentine like all the rest of these, but nonetheless, Valencia Pride actually stayed true to the graft. I think only like 3 trees actually stayed what they are. The rest of them are all turpentines. Womp, womp, womp. I know. So turpentines, the shapes on them are some terrible, some are works in progress. This is way too high. Like, I don't want the branching that high. We get high winds, it's just going to push that whole tree, especially when you got fruit on it, which I'll take that back. I will have the fruit off before high winds come. So not the issue, but still, if you were to have a late fruiter and you get some hurricane coming in, having them this high off the ground, dude, the whole thing is just gonna more than likely could break or rip out of the ground. How's the graft coming along? She's cooking in there quite nicely. We doing the foil versus full sun? Yes, we are. I did a couple of Venus grafts yesterday. Some in full sun, and some will be wrapped up as well. Let's see what we got over here. Any good shapes? See, I like to get in here when they're young. That way you can make that first cut on them. That first cut, folks, super, super important. Don't listen to me. Go talk to your local nursery and see what they tell you. Maybe they shape them. Maybe they tell you to shape them. You do you. Just saying, don't be afraid to cut them. They bounce back better than before. More branches equals more fruit, folks. Just checking to see how she's working. But that's only 2 down here. Only 2. This one's got like 4. Not all trees will look great once you do. Some will give you the 2. Some you have to maybe reset them once again. You know, like this one's coming up into 4 different branches, which is lovely. Here's a little Venus from yesterday. I use the foil. Here's foil, and then here's one without. Just looks black, dark. I mean, it's still got some condensation in there, but don't know. Doesn't look like she wants to pull through. I noticed that in the foil, we get faster growth, but as long as they both pull through, then most of y'all will probably argue it doesn't really matter, right? This one's being left out into full sun to let it fight it out. Venus is a very vigorous grower, so let's find out if she can withstand the heat. That's what it's all about. Let's see if we got any more good shaped ones. Yeah, once the leaf-footed bugs find this Barbados, they will totally attack it. Look, here they are right here. That's the juvenile version. All those little orange ones, hang on, you probably didn't get a chance to zoom in on that one. Yeah, because they're flowered up, so they are out here. And this thing just won't stop flowering. It's got a few fruit on here. Oh, there's it. Flew right into me. There was an adult version. I want to show you the young ones. You get them all on here. It's a good little cherry. It's not my favorite. I will say the ladybugs are on here too. We see ya. There's a few of them. That means they're eating something. Come here, little lady. No, she rolled away. She didn't want any part of me. Good little cherries. They're easy. Semi-shade does very well for them. I wouldn't grow them in full sun this far north. Totally your deal though, right? They have them, I have them next to this Mexican sunflower, so it's getting lots of coverage here. So, big little bush. I have to come over and trim this up here very shortly because he's encroaching in our space. We don't have much space here. Here's one I haven't shaped at all, is this Miwa. Citrus you don't have to do too much with. It's not the same. The shape really doesn't, I guess it matters, but it's not to that same degree, right? It's not as important, and most of them will give you a decent shape by themselves, right? You don't have to really do too much with them. But cooking slow. And all these little seedlings, I come in here and make sure that right around knee high, I'm already tipping them. I'm already shaping them because we want low fruit, low hanging fruit up in here. Nothing too large. Most of these trees I do not want larger than 15 feet is what we're looking for. See, like this one here, cut that, and 2 shoots up, right? And then we'll trim that one, and more shoots are popping up there. Can't be afraid to cut, all right? Cutting is part of the problem, and I'm not saying yourselves, you crazies, all right? That's a whole nother group. No, do not do that. You guys are wild for doing that. Cut and prune your trees, folks. It is biblical. You have to. Got to shape them. You must, or someone else will, right? Mother Nature. We getting close? We're getting close. Just waiting for those segments to open up a little bit more. Here's another one that's very close. I think she's almost ready. Sugar apples. Don't have to shape much either. I'm going to leave that on the outside. This is why it's nice to plant crap trees next to your good trees. Then they can just lean all your good fruits. Uh-oh. What happened? What happened? What happened? Did I hit something, folks? Can y'all still hear me? Are we still show live video? Oh, sorry about that. I didn't even know that that was a thing. You turn off the camera? Woo. All right, sorry about that. Haven't done that one before. Maybe I have and didn't notice it. Anyway, sugar apples, you don't have to train. You don't have to cut back too much. Just don't let them get too tall, but they do kind of have a wide body style. They're not going to get too slender and tall like a jackfruit, so you don't have to do too much with those. But, well, shaping mulberries really isn't a secret. You just got to cut them, right? You got to cut these guys, which I just did. And this Thai dwarf is back up, man, all of 16 feet, maybe 15 feet easily. We're getting some clouds coming in, y'all. We'll take some early rain. I am closed today. It's Tuesday, y'all. I will say this. We are not going to be at the market tomorrow. We're taking off tomorrow because of Aaron. Normally, we'd be over there. Wednesdays are farmers markets. Catch us over there at Volusia County Fairgrounds. But tomorrow, the weather is not going to be on our side from what I hear. Because it is closer to the coast, they're saying anywhere from 15 to 30 mile an hour winds, which not the worst if you're out there just walking and talking, but as a vendor, it sucks to have your stuff constantly being knocked over by the wind. And I break branches and I break bread because I'm not making a whole lot because everyone's out there trying to grab all their emergency supplies, whatnot. And it's a smaller, well, it's a big gamble for me to go ahead and get set up and have my stuff destroyed. That's not what we're doing. So I will be open here. Come by and see us. Now watch. Because I don't go, it'll be great weather and it'll be absolutely nothing. But they're claiming that it's going to be some rougher winds tomorrow. So I tried to err on the side of caution. I hate setting up just to have a bad day out there. So anyways, we'll be there next week. But one sec here. Here's some more that I'm shaping, which are the turpentines. So by cutting them back, they don't give me the greatest branching. Well, they do send me like 8 of them though. They send me like 6 or 8 of them. They send me many, right? How does that one look later on? I don't know. As you can see, most of the times that you cut, you get about 3 or 4, so it looks good. Now, how does a canopy of 6 to 8 branches look? We're about to find out. Don't know. But what I'm doing is going to multi-graft a lot of these into many different varieties. So will it be great? We don't know. Tune in, folks, whether these will be good mistakes or bad mistakes. Look what's already flowering. We're early. And Roselle's already pushing off a couple of these little baby blooms. Very small plants. This year, I hate to report, this year we will be low on the Roselle jam. And don't know. I don't want to say too much. My mom might be watching this later on. She'll be like, I told you should have started more earlier. Listen, I had a bad year for Roselle. I dropped a bunch of seeds that were no good. Have like a whole mason jar full of bad seeds, basically. I used one of those oxygen absorbers and put them inside. I don't know if it was that or whatnot, but all the seeds that I dropped early, none of them sprouted up. So that was one of the issues and made me start super late. So now because of that, my plants are very small. It's not looking the greatest, folks, but hang in there. I may be able to make a small batch. Don't know yet. We got white Roselle, which is kind of cool. Hopefully we'll be able to taste that one, although guessing it's the same flavor, just white. I know here, I hear the jokes at home. I'm not going to say them out loud. I know. I hear y'all, folks. But anyways, it's Tuesday. Just wanted to go ahead and go over a couple of nice trees that I have shaped here myself. If you got any good looking trees, let me know. Send them over my way. If you need some help pruning or where should I prune and all that, I am not the pro, but I could give you a couple of pointers, right? You can post it on a forum. There's some real professionals, all right, online that can help you out as well. Ask somebody. If you don't know, before you get in there and really ruin it, well, you're going to learn from it anyways. Prune it back. It'll flush back out. You'll have many more next year, right? So don't worry about it. But anyways, folks, have a great Tuesday. Thanks a lot. Yeah, it's hot out here, folks. This is it. This is what we do. Play in the sun. Have a great week. I'll probably be back. But anyways, hit you up later. Love you. Let's grow together, folks.